Can you smell it? No, that's not the smell of eggs that you made earlier. That's not the smell of whatever happened down the hall in the bathroom an hour ago. That, my friends, is the salty smell of adventure. Welcome once again to the Gaming Galleon. I am Captain Raz, a pirate. What are you talking about? There's pirates out there still? Of course there's pirates out there. And I happen to be one of them. And if you're watching the show today, guess what? You better not let any redcoats run into you because you're one too. But it's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting because when we're pirates, we're free. We're our own men and women for at least 60 minutes until we have to bring the old ship back and become normal people again. But that's far away, my friends. We have a lot to do today. We're going to be celebrating a game that may make you unfollow as soon as I mention it. We've got the, what's this thing called? Pirate chest? Booty? Lots of booty in there, lots of treasure to go through. And then, of course, we have over here in the corner the accursed bag that tells no tales. Our mailbag, where you get to say, hey, Captain Raz, I've got something to say, and you better listen. All right? So it's going to be a great hour. What are we celebrating today? It's weird. We're actually stationed in Allied territory, back at headquarters. We're basically sitting around with a bunch of soldiers. They're all outside the ship. They're rolling their own cigarettes, and they're drinking, I don't know, whatever they can get their hands on, because it's been a bloody, nasty war out there for them. That's right. We're celebrating Call of Duty. Call of Duty? Really? Are we going to be playing Call of Duty all day? I've seen Call of Duty. Every jackass in the world's streaming that. I don't come to the Gaming Galleon to watch Call of Duty. Well, don't worry, my friends. Because they did something with this year's Call of Duty that has turned even this jaded old sea dog's head. Now, let me tell you about Call of Duty. It's a shooting game. It's militaristic. It's a simulator. It's made by 2 different companies, maybe even 3, but I think 2. And they switch off every year. One's Activision, a very well-known old company. And then another company named Treyarch. I don't know much about them. That may shock you. But that gives you a little idea as to how much I know about Call of Duty. There's one Call of Duty game in the history of Call of Duty that I wanted. And it was Call of Duty Black Ops. Is it because I want to shoot other soldiers? No. It's just because this has a lot of value to it. There's a strong online play. There's a campaign mode if you're into that kind of stuff. I'm really not. There's a zombie mode if you want to kill zombies with your friends. That's okay. I played that for a couple sessions. But really what grabbed me with this was something called Dead Ops Arcade. And it's just a bonus game that they put in. And it's basically like an updated Smash TV. You can play with your friends. It's a top-down shooter, twin-stick shooter, a lot of fun. You're blowing up zombies. And then there's even a secret way to play a classic text adventure called Zork. Very old game. For whatever reason, they decided to pop it in here. And I really like that. So that's why I have a copy of Black Ops. Every other copy of Call of Duty we have sitting in the hold, I either picked up with a lot of other games, and it just happened to be there, or it was like, less than $1, or that's it. I mean, really. Have I played any of these games? Absolutely not. I've barely played this. Played Dead Ops Arcade maybe once or twice, but it's not bad. However, I'm watching a friend of mine, Hoosier TV, Angry Hoosier TV, one of the officers here on the ship. He was streaming the new Call of Duty, and I couldn't be rolling my eyes more. Who needs to see this? But it's interesting. He wasn't doing the typical thing I see every streamer doing in every Call of Duty I've ever seen, which is looking down the sights of a gun and shooting someone. He was actually running around what appeared to be this headquarters, this base camp. And there's other soldiers sitting around, and they're like, looking at guns, and they're looking at the like poster boards on the wall, and it looked almost like a lobby of sorts, like a role-playing lobby. It reminded me of those kind of games for the console generation PS3, where like Monster Hunter or White Knight Chronicles, where you funnel into this one little area where there's shops, and you can then go out together to go on adventures, and then come back with whatever resources you find. It looked very RPG-ish. So I was intrigued enough to continue watching, and that's when my jaw dropped. You see, my friend Hoosier, in the middle of all this World War II-ness, comes across a little canopy. And underneath the canopy is a chessboard. And when he clicked on the chessboard, lo and behold, a menu came up. And for a nominal in-game currency fee, he was able to play one of 15 original Atari games by the game's creator, Activision. Now, if you know anything about Activision, back in the 70s, they were the premier programmers for Atari games. No one made, or consistently at least, no one made greater games for the Atari than Activision. Originally, they worked for Atari, made great games for them, weren't getting any credit. They didn't get their names in these games they were sweating over. And eventually, a number of them said, you know what, screw this, let's go make our own company. And that's how Activision was born. So here's my buddy Angry Hoosier playing a $60 frickin' game that will depreciate to $40 in probably a month, playing 4-bit Atari games. And I mean, my keyboard couldn't have been more moist. Is that a bad way to put that? Probably. Let's take a look at some of the games that are on this little Atari that seems to have time traveled back to the World War II era. What do we got here? These are all games you can play in Call of Duty World War II. Okay? You got Fishing Derby. Alright, we're not starting out strong, are we? We got the Awesome Sequest. Rescuing divers and shooting up sharks. You got Chopper Command. You're blowing up jeeps. You're blowing up other choppers. You got Enduro. Racing through the night to different locations. You got another Chopper Command. Here's a Chopper Command variant. You wanted to see that. All Atari games, they have like all these different label variants. You got Kaboom. It doesn't play that well, to be honest. We'll get into that later. One of my personal favorites, Spider Fighter. You got Skiing. You got, I couldn't believe this was on here, Pitfall 2, a game we are intimately familiar with. And then, of course, if it's Activision, you're going to have Ripper Raid. You're going to have Ripper Raid. You got a couple others here we actually have some box copies of. You got Boxing in the box. And then, of course, one of the greatest box arts ever made, Demon Attack by Magic. I'm not exactly sure how Activision got a hold of this one. This is made by a different company. But as we can see here, we have a plastic Tyrannosaurus Rex with some fighter wings glued to its back, fighting what appears to be some sort of Stegosaurus flying through the air. That's box art, my friends. All right. This is a little weird because you're not going to see any Call of Duty this show. We may be celebrating Call of Duty. I may be plugging Call of Duty. But that's only because they were so cool to put these retro games in. If I ever get this game, Call of Duty World War II, I'm not going to ever... I will play the shooting. But the only time I'm going to play the shooting is when some friend of mine signs on to the game, heads up at headquarters, sees my butt sitting in front of the Atari and says, hey, Raz, come on, let's go shoot up some guys. Then I'll be like, all right, well, I guess I need some quarters here to play this Atari, so, okay, I'm in. But I'm really looking forward to finding that game for the right price, just so that I can start working on my high scores in that little game. And I don't know if it records high scores or what, but if I have to, I'll just put Post-it notes all over the side of my TV, just like we used to do in the old days. Okay? We're going to be celebrating Activision games. That's what we're doing here. Let's get started. Yeah, we're actually over here. So basically, we're going to be playing this. For the PlayStation 2, we've got the Activision Anthology. 45 excellent. They're not all excellent, but a lot of them are excellent. Activision games. I picked around 6 or so of the ones that are playable in Call of Duty World War II. So if you're curious, these are the kind of experiences you're going to get on top of, you know, all that other modern high-end AAA schlock. All right, let's get started. It's Activision Anthology for the PlayStation 2 while being played in Call of Duty World War II for all modern systems. Let's get started. All right, so this Activision Anthology, really cheap. Put the stupid chair in my way. Really cheap game, but it is overflowing with presentation, and you're going to see right here. This is the menu screen to pick your Atari games. All right, here we go. Welcome back to 1982. Welcome back to your childhood bedroom. All right? Check this out. We have Pitfall 2 on the TV. I've got her popped into the system right now. Mainly because we're not going to play Pitfall 2 today. The reason being is we did a whole voyage on it. If you want to see what Pitfall 2 is all about and see how Raz reacts to it, you can watch the Gaming Galleon Machu Picchu, Peru. Just Google that. Otherwise, let's take a look at all the other great games that are here. We've got our 360 turntable deck here, and I think the first game I wanted to play was oh, I had this all written out and now I lost it. Where is it? Where'd my phone go? So here it is. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Here, spin the wheel, Vanna, while I'm doing that. You like that sound? Sound familiar? No? Well, that was pretty iconic. I mean, there are only, what, 8 sound effects in the entire Atari language. All right, yeah, we're gonna start with Sequest. Sequest. This is a great game. Now look at this. Look at the presentation. You get to see the cart. You can even see the box. You can move it around. Take a look at the back. Check it out, and then you can even read the very well-made instruction manual. If you want to know. Now we're not going to need any of this. We're just here to kill, but you gotta respect the presentation there. All right, let's get started. Pop in that cart. It's on the TV. Let's play. All right, now the great thing. Oh, I need my headphones. I'll get my headphones here. Oh, don't kill that diver. All right, here we go. Now, I'm a submarine. There's enemy subs out there. Whew. And then there's divers. And we're like a rescue sub. So, oh, I suck. I was using the analog stick. Don't use the analog stick. You want to use the D-pad for these games. If I rescue enough of these divers, I'll advance to the next stage. We'll go up to the surface, we'll get some more oxygen, and then we'll start saving these guys. Oh, they're getting... That's a ferocious looking shark. Whoa! Get off him! There we go. You guys want to get out? How many do I need to get out? Maybe I need more than 3. Yeah, that's more than 3. Okay. I think it's like, if I get a whole submarine full, stage ends. Oh! Now you see how greedy I got there? Don't get greedy. Oh, jeez. They're getting angry. Oh. Ah! God, I got one more life. Alright, come on. Come on, Reyes. At least pass the stage. Oh, I'm an idiot. You got some nice options. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. I suck. We got more to see. Yeah. Now, did you like the music? No, Reyes, there is no music. That's right. That's true. But here's the great thing about Activision Anthology. Because the Atari didn't have music. 95% of the games didn't have music. Just another processing power. But on this particular game, you can head over to what everybody had next to their old tube TV back in the 80s. Your boombox. And on the boombox, you can actually play original songs that were popular around that time. Now, we can't let them run because we'll get blocked all over the place by, the internet police. So we don't want to do that, but I'll tell you what I will do is I'll go down the dial right now and you can listen and play a little name that tune with yourself there. And it's just great. Listen to this. Along with that one. It's a nice one. Oh, remember that one? Is that Quiet Riot? Oh. Tainted Love? I don't know what this is. I don't know what that is either. Maybe if I listen more than 3 seconds, huh? Oh, that's a good one. I don't know what this is, but I don't remember exactly what it is, but I remember the girl. And then, what else is in it? What's it? Sure. Alright. So, we're going to turn it off. You have to keep in mind... So, that thing will play just like how your old radio would play while you're playing Atari. So, during these games, you don't have to just listen to all the bleeps and bloops and just the vacuum of space. The way they set up this compilation... You can listen to all these 80s tunes. And they'll just roll. They'll just roll as you're playing. So it's really cool. I thought that was one of the neatest presentation adds to this game. Alright, the next game we're going to check out is old boxing. Who doesn't like watching old Cap and Rance get the crap beat out of them, right? We're not going to bother with the instructions. But I will show what the great thing about the instructions is Activision, these guys, they didn't get any credit. They're making these high-end Atari games. Atari was pulling in all its money. These guys got no credit. So at the end of every Activision instruction manual, you would see the picture of the main programmer, the guy who created the game, and even a little bit about him. Isn't that neat? And he even got his signature. It's really refreshing to see that kind of credit given to these guys who, gave us so much fun at that time. All right, let's play a little boxing. Now, from what I remember with boxing, I have to get to 100. Or maybe I have to have a higher score than my ebony friend here by the time the timer's out. Now, from what I understand... Oh, yeah, I'm punching him. I'm wailing on this guy. Hey! Hey! From what I understand, if you can manage to score 100, there's like 2 different ways to score. You can score 1 point or 2 points, depending on how close of a shot you make on this guy. Like, he just hit me for 2. But if you manage to get 100, I guess it's a knockout. Whereas this is going to be more of a point by decision. And it makes me wonder I don't know much about how these Call of Duty games, how these games play on Call of Duty. I've only seen Angry Hoosier play. My buddy was streaming the game. I've only seen him play one player, these Activision games. So it makes me wonder, can you, I know that this headquarter, this base camp that we're sitting in right now, I know that you can have like up to 50 other, somewhere around 50 guys running around that base camp with you. Does that mean that 2 of you can hop into the R&R tent, sit in front of that chessboard, and both of you are playing boxing against one another? That would be really cool. I also would like to. I would, have. Does it record your high scores? Can your friends see your high scores? I don't know if I'm asking too much, but I mean, considering the game it's on, Call of Duty, where it's all about bragging rights and score and performance, you would think that. Man, I'm wailing on this guy. What's up, dude? Oh, he's on the ropes. Eat your heart out, UFC. Hey! Oh, look, now what happened here? I've unlocked the corporate commercial. So there's all kinds of unlockables in this. Apparently, we've unlocked some sort of commercial. I pressed square, I don't know why. You see how this went black and white? There's actually a button to turn the whole game as black and white, because when the Atari was out, a lot of people still had black and white TVs. So you can even replicate that. I don't know why this... get me out of here. I'm ready. Alright, let's play one more game. What was the last game I wanted to play here before we went to the booty segment? Oh, okay. So this is a game I've never even heard of before. But apparently it's available on Call of Duty World War II. Private Eye. I don't know anything about this game. It just kind of turned my head. Let's take a look at the box art. Oh yeah, you're a detective. It looks like you're collecting things, or maybe you're tracking down stolen items. Here's the box art. Made by Activision. Looks like it's probably one of their later games. A maze of mystery. So we're running around a maze. I don't know how long we're going to do this. And then, of course, you've got... This is probably where I would learn the most. Is Sacre Bleu. Sacre Bleu. Am I saying that right? Look at this. So there's different cases here. And yeah, this looks like this is a lot. We're not going to play this long, but this looks like this is a little deeper than your usual shooter. So I thought it would be worth us popping in the cart and checking out. Oh yeah. It ain't no heavy rain, is it? Alright, let's get started. Oh, I like that music. Alright, so... Got my car. I'm gonna... This is the police station. Let's see if we can find some action. Oh, looks like we can go right up here. Look at this. Oh, we're in the forest. It's Pitfall. Oh, no, I'm in the mud. Ugh. Hey, anybody see any lost items? Oh, here we go. Hi. Hello, ladies. No. Oh, this is a gun shop. Can I get out of here? Can I get in? Let me in. Can I get out of the stupid car? This car does not want me out of it. Huh. We've got 2 minutes. At least we know how long it's gonna... Oh, what's this? Hey, hey, come here. You look mysterious. What happened to him? He's gone. This is worth $60, right? Head over to GameStop. Pick it up. Come here. Did I get him? I think I got a score. I think I got a score for that. Back at the police station. Get in there. Can we send these guys? Oh, you know what? You know what I bet is going on? I'm just gonna press some buttons here. Oh yeah. Wait. Oh, I just reset the game. We got a little time. We're gonna run around a little more. Because what would happen in these later releases for the Atari is that the Atari only had one button on its controller. So as programmer, oh, I got beamed. As programmers got a little better at coming up with these games, they were like, man, you know, I wish there was more than one button. So as a result, what some of the later programmers would do, this is the first bank, is they would use the button on the controller for an action button, like say this jump, but then they would use like say the black and white switch. That, you know, who really needs the black and white switch in the 80s? they would change that from black and white to maybe an inventory screen. So you'd have to actually get up, flip this switch on the console. Oh, I've got a gun. Can I shoot? Give me that gun. I've got a gun. Oh, out of bounds. I don't know how to shoot it, and I'm afraid to press any other buttons now. I can't. Oh, you know what? I can't turn this game black and white. So that leads me to believe that the black and white switch is used for something else. So yeah, these games are deep, and you know all you have to do is you look in the old instruction manual, and boom, you found out how to play. And I know they don't look like much here, but I'm telling you, look into the instruction manual, and you're gonna find yourself in understanding these games in a whole different way. All right, let's leave it there. We'll leave Private Eye there. Looks kind of interesting. I don't know. Again, if I'm sitting around base camp, am I going to go out there and try and go 21-10 against some 12-year-olds? Or am I going to sit on my butt in base camp, soak up taxpayer dollars, and play Private Eye? I think we all know the answer, don't we? All right, let's head over to the booty segment. Is this the best booty segment ever? Oh, you're looking good with the headphones. Nice. All right, you're an idiot. Okay. Is this the best booty segment ever? I probably shouldn't downplay it. I don't know. Maybe someone here is going to get blown away. I will say that there's probably something in here you've never seen, because I've never seen it until I encountered it, and it's pretty shocking. All right, so let's take a look. Over here in the booty segment, we got one deal that's pretty ho-hum. I just threw it in there. It's called Filler, ladies and gentlemen. And then the other deal is really interesting. I don't know that it's like a stellar deal. I wouldn't say I was walking away. What's the word I'm looking for? You know, it wasn't a steal. It was your basic store deal. But interesting stuff, nonetheless. Let's get started. All right, so a little pawn shop deal here. Looks like I picked up some titles from PS3, Xbox 360 we didn't have, which is saying a lot, especially for PS3. I think we had this. These were all. I don't know if these were. I'm gonna say these were $2. They might have been $1. Looking at them, I feel like I would have paid. No, they're probably $2. Sonic Sega Genesis Collection, probably, in my opinion, the best retro compilation that was made for the last generation. Just every genre represented perfectly. Lots of unlockables, trophies if you're into that kind of crap, and relatively easy to find and cheap. $2 though, I wasn't going to leave behind. This is the kind of game I'm going to drop in somebody's lap and say, it's time for you to learn, sir. Take this home and learn. All right. Darksiders 2. This is a massively sprawling open world adventure. It's been, in many ways, compared to Legend of Zelda. That might have been the first one a little more than this one, but this one is just huge. It's just a massive game. I believe you play one of the 4 horses of the apocalypse. And this is sadly, this is THQ's swan song. This was their final game. This was made by Toy Headquarters. THQ's made their share of schlock, but they've made some great stuff too. So it was sad to see them go. But they went on a pretty high note. This is a game I've yet to play, but I've always really kind of turned my head. Now, we had a copy of it. I just felt like $2 is going to grab one more. Grand Theft Auto 4, the complete edition. Never played it. Never played Grand Theft Auto 4. I basically retired from Grand Theft Auto after San Andreas. That's the one I still play. If we ever do Grand Theft Auto and the Galleon, it's probably going to be San Andreas. But this one has a lot of different DLC on it. It's got the Ballad of Gay Tony, The Lost and the Damned, and then the full version of Grand Theft Auto 4. That's a lot of gamer for $2. I'm just going to throw this somebody's way. A few more here. Maybe this was a buy 5 get 1 free. I have no idea. We're gonna say they're all $2 each though. Facebreaker, just one we didn't have. It's an arcadey boxing game. It looks like maybe the spiritual sequel to the Ready to Rumble series, which everyone seems really hot on. I never played. Fear 2, pretty decent first-person shooter with a lot of survival horror elements. It's just a lot of jump scares here. I didn't even know if we had it, but I felt like for $2 it was worth grabbing. If we have it in the hole, we'll just give it to somebody. And then finally, I was marginally excited to find this one. It's a Fable Anniversary for the Xbox 360. I wasn't aware that they had made an HD version of Fable for the 360. I've played this one quite a bit. I don't believe I finished it, but I got really, really far. And it's not bad. It's not bad. In fact, I think we'll probably play a Fable, or we'll probably have a Fable Voyage inevitably one day, if only just to bum around the taverns and play the tavern games, which was really what turned my head about this particular action RPG. All right, so that's just, you know, $2 each. We're gonna say that was $12. All right. All right. Now this other lot here, I picked up from a retro game store. They just had stuff I don't see, and they had it for good prices. So here we go. I looked in their little cabinet, and someone had dropped like a metric ton of Atari games on them. And these were not just Asteroids and Combat and Yar's Revenge. Not that those aren't great games, but they come everywhere. There was some really exotic stuff there. We've got a couple of Magic titles here that I don't believe we had. Trick Shot. Magic makes stuff like you're a dolphin. And then once you collect 3 reefs, then reefs or corals, then you fly into the air and all of a sudden you're a Pegasus. They just made the weirdest games all around. And this is probably their redheaded stepchild, because Trick Shot, unlike, say, Atlantis, where you're, you know, saving the Atlanteans from destruction, Trick Shot is just about pool. It's just a billiard game. I don't know why they made it, but I know we didn't have it. And I like the Magic, so we grabbed it. And then a very beat up... Look at all the words that are on Trick Shot here. It says, for use with the Atari joystick controller, Atari video game system, joystick controllers, 1 or 2 players. And then you've got Moonsweeper. Was this... was somebody using this to, like, level out their table or something? I don't know. It's pretty beat up. I don't think we have this, though. I don't think we have Moonsweeper. I've got a couple of Atari games back here. I'm looking. Some Magic games. I don't see it. All right. Anyway, so those were just a couple of loose carts. Then this place works where you buy 5, you get 1 free. Now these games were they flat rate their Atari stuff, so these were $1.50 each. Okay, $1.49. And I was trying to work my way up to 5 items so I get the 5th one free. But we just have so many Atari games that it's very hard for us to find ones we don't have at this point. And it wasn't like they didn't really have anything that was like high cool enough of a title that I would want a different copy. But for $2, they had, I was looking at the wall and okay, well, it looks like they got some controllers. $2 we have a 78 controller. Atari 78 controller. These things are terrible. Terrible. I wouldn't wish my worst enemy to be stuck with one of these. It's such a tease to have such a great system like the Atari 7800 Pro system and be stuck with just one of these awful controllers. The joystick just doesn't work. A lot of these games required 2 buttons to play. So to use both buttons, you'd be, you know, like, are you kidding me? That's how I'm supposed to play? This thing's going all over on you. It's a nightmare. But $2 is actually not a bad deal on these, and we have a Pro system. I usually use the Sega Genesis controller to play it, but for whatever reason, I was trying to work my way up to 6. All right, trying to work my way up to 6. Buy 5, get 1 free. Another controller they had. I was really puzzled by this. Here's an Intellivision controller. It was $2. But what's weird about this is it's on its own. And my Intellivision, the Intellivision we have on the ship here, the cords are like phone cords, like on an old land phone. So the controllers for the Intellivision I have are attached to the system. If God forbid somebody takes a scissors to one of those, you can't play the system. But this one actually has a port. So I'm guessing maybe this was for the Intellivision 2. Maybe the Intellivision 2 you could, they had 2 models. They eventually made the Intellivision 2. I don't know. I never see this. I mean, we don't have a single Intellivision controller independent of its own, so I just figured we'd grab it for 2. Again, trying to get that buy 5, get 1 free deal. I do know a friend of mine who has an Intellivision 2. I'll probably just throw this as well. And then, so they had a bunch of boxed games, boxed Atari games, and usually that's awesome. But, you know, we've got a pretty decent smattering of boxed Atari games. We can experience what it's like to open a boxed Atari game easily. So to try and start collecting every boxed Atari game we can find is ridiculous. Because most of these games we have loose. And even for $1.50, I wasn't willing to buy, say, Combat. Or, you know, just sports titles. They had one box game I really was trying to think about. I was really thinking about getting, and it was E.T. the Extraterrestrial in the box for the Atari. I almost grabbed that, but it didn't have the instructions. It would be kind of amusing to have E.T. in the box. But in addition to all these 2600 games, you see these box Atari. You see box Atari games. If you do what we do, you're going to see those. But what you're never going to see, at least I've never seen, are boxed games for the Atari 400. The home computer, one of the home computers that Atari made. This place had, for $1.50, boxed Atari 400 games. Are these valuable? Oh, I don't know about that, but they're certainly hard to find in the wild. Now, they had 3 of them. They had Pac-Man, they had Space Raiders, and then they had one that I felt was worth picking up. I wasn't going to pick up all 3 of them, and when you see what these things look like, you may understand why. First of all, we have Pac-Man and Star Raiders for the Atari 400. We also have this game. But I wasn't going to let all 3 of these boxes go because they're just so interesting. So, for $1.50, we picked up this behemoth. Is this a video game or a board game? It's Centipede for the Atari 400 and 800. Now look at that box art, huh? This looks like a highlights magazine. It's huge. It's huge. Can we pair this up against boxing? Did I mention huge? Can you imagine having a system like this where these are the kind of boxes you're picking up? I mean, no wonder people threw these out. If you have any concern as to what an Atari 400 is, you can see right in the back. That little arrow is where you'd put in the cartridge. You've got this big, behemoth, fatty keyboard console, and then this little empty crevice in the middle of it with which to stick your game in. I'm going to get a clip for that, aren't I? Again, let's take a look at an Atari cart. Let's take a look at an Atari cart. Spider Fighter. And now let's take a look at Centipede for the Atari 400. So you've got a box that dwarfs the Atari 2600 box, and a cart that is like infinitesimal compared to a 2600 cart. I guess they were still working out, you know. The 400 was obviously made before the 2600, so I guess they were still working out exactly how to catch people's eyes. It came with the manual. Centipede. Looks like something out of like a, I don't know, children's book there. I like the edges here. Reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. Nice nice colored inserts here. It's telling you about all the different monsters that you fight in Centipede. It's got some really catchy scoring there. Look at that. Scoring your game. Pretty hot, huh? For $1.50? And then, you know, we were at 5. I had to buy something for free. I was looking at, like I said, they had a bunch of Atari games in the box that we just didn't have. We had, just wasn't that interested. But then I took a double look and I'm like, oh wait, that Frogger, that's not for the 2600. That very attractive looking Frogger in the box is actually for the Intellivision. So basically, just out of, I don't know that we have Frogger for the Intellivision. I don't think we do. So when I realized this is an Intellivision game, decided to grab it. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. Looking at the dimension, that looks more like an Atari 400 game. Maybe this is an Atari 400. Does it say? It says cartridge for Atari home computers. Oh, okay. So this is for the Atari 400 also. I don't know that we have this. We have a 400 that the Hodor Nation gave to us for Christmas. Maybe 2 Christmases ago. At least one. And we've yet to fire her up. And it's really torturous because it's sitting in a box. And half of the games don't have labels anymore. So I'm just dying to know. You know, we may have like the holy grail of Atari 400 games for all I know. Sitting there. So there you go. Some interesting oddities to celebrate our little trip down Atari Lane. What did we pay for all that? We had the Centipede 400 game, Frogger for the 400. We've got the Intellivision controller, the 7800 controller, and then the 2 Magic games. It's $1.50. Well, these are $2, so $4, $7, $8.50. Is that right? $8.50. Probably around $9. Yeah, not that great of a deal, but definitely some oddities to be sure. And just to have that one Atari 400 box, that's just a fascinating relic that we just couldn't leave behind. So there you go. All right, let's get back to let's play some games. We got another 10 minutes or so to play some games, and then we'll come back and we'll hit the old mailbag and see what you guys have to say. Okay, all right. Give me the harp here. It's This is a real mouthful. Activision Anthology for the PS2, playable in Call of Duty World War II. For all modern systems. Let's get back to it. All right. So our private eye is still sitting in the machine here. Let me get my headphones on here. All right. Couple other features I want to show you. Now you see that bulletin board up in the back. Kids had bulletin boards back in the day, you know, just like dorm rooms. You'd stick, you know, newspaper clippings are up there. But in the Atari days, they didn't have trophies, obviously. What they did was, but they still had a way to, people still wanted to, you know, beat accomplishments. So if you got a high score in, say, River Raid, high enough score, you could send a picture, like a Polaroid picture or whatever, to Atari. And that would, they would send you back a patch with like River Raid on it, and then I don't know, it'll say something like, you know, who knows, High Score Pilot or something like that. But they were patches you could put onto your jean jacket, which was really big at the time. But if you didn't have that, which obviously we don't playing on a PS2. They've got this bulletin board here for you. That as you play all these different games and get good at them and make high scores or pass levels, you earn patches. So there's even a real sense of progression in this compilation. It's not just an empty list of games that are disjointed from one another. And then over here, you can actually take a look at the unlock list, and it says there's one patch for boxing, or one unlock for boxing, but we've already completed that. See, it's got a C there. That's how we won that commercial. If we went into the extras, we'd be able to watch this commercial. We're not going to do that right now. But it's like an old 80s commercial promoting boxing. And then there's, look at, you get 3 things for Laser Blast here. I didn't know Laser Blast was on here. Oh, no, that's not World War II. But, Pitfall 2, River Raid. So it gives you an idea of how much you're going to have to get, or how many different accomplishments you can do here in this game. All right, let's go back to our games. Let's go back to the real meat here. Let's find another game. What did I want to play? I'm pretty sure I know what we're going to play next. Doesn't get more classic on the old Atari when you're talking Activision games than River Raid. River Raid, baby. This is just the godfather of shooters. And if you know anything about old Raz, he loves a good 2D shooter. We're going to put it in black and white. Hope you don't mind. And let's get started. So the great thing about River Raid is there's a little flexibility in how to score. Now, obviously, we're here to rack up score. We're here to make kills on the various choppers and battleships that are impeding our progress. But we also have to keep an eye on our fuel gauge down there at the bottom. And you'll see there's lots of fuel tanks sitting in the water. And if we manage to swoop down low enough and not blow them up, we can drive right over them and replenish our fuel gauge. Now you can accelerate. Oh, dang it. You can accelerate, you can decelerate. Is that right? Decelerate? I don't know. And, and continue on with your mission. But here's where they get you. There is nothing in the game, maybe one thing that I don't know about, but for the most part, the big money items. Oh, look at that. Alright, thank you. I'll show you what that means a little bit later. I like that music. We got one more life left. The big ticket. Oh, stupid bombers. Kamikaze pilots here, man. Really are in World War II. The fuel is really, dang it, is where you're going to get the most points. So you're constantly wanting to blow up all the fuel. But you can't because you got to fuel yourself. So it's a real risk and reward to this game. And we'll put it back in color. We'll get out of this and go check out another game. But yeah, I do. I want to show you what we just unlocked here to give you an idea of the kind of just additional stuff that they threw in here. We've got River Raid in there. We're in play mode classic, but if we switch over to cloud cover gameplay mode and start her up, oh look, now all of a sudden, we're playing the game under cloud, under the cover of cloud. Again, just a neat little visual tick that they threw in to enhance these games. And when you're talking something as basic as River Raid, any little enhancement can make things a bit of a game changer. All right, so let's get out of here. Let's find another game. What's my next game? Oh yeah, okay. Well, I thought we'd do a little racing. I've never played this one, but again, this is, if you got yourself Call of Duty, you got yourself this game. Call of Duty World War II. Anybody know where the G's are? Oh boy, here we go, I found it. Grand Prix. Okay, so this just looks like some basic racing. Let's see how good I am at this. we're gonna take cloud cover off. And there we go. There's like 4 different play modes. Let's bump it up to 2. I don't know what I think that's difficulty. And let's get started. Oh man, listen to that realistic motor sound. Alright, this isn't bad. Oh, good sense of speed here. I didn't look at objectives. I should have checked the instruction manual. I assume we're going for rank, but it's not telling me what rank we are. So maybe this is just a lot of Atari games would only last 3 minutes. So maybe we drive for 3 minutes, and then it'll tell us how many cars we've gotten through. What's going on here? All right, that was just a wall. Great. Maybe that was the first lap. Was that the first lap? God, tell me that was the first lap. I'm sick of racing toothpaste bottles. Oops. Oh, come on. I just hit a surfboard on wheels. Ooh, I can hear myself ramping up. Feels good when you get her going. Maybe I should have stuck with oh, that's it. How'd we do? 138? Is that it? Listen to the silence. That's Atari for you. Okay. Yeah, I guess we're done here. So that's okay though, because you know that's time trial stuff there. That's the kind of stuff where you say, "Hey, buddy, I don't care if you just shot that guy in the head. I just scored 1 minute and 38 seconds in Grand Prix. Give that a try." All right, one more game here before we say goodbye. Before we head over to the mailbag. Barnes. I saw Angry Hoosier playing this one. You know, the great thing about the Atari, the great thing about the Nintendo is the genres just weren't solidified yet. They'd make all kinds of stuff. Like, say, barnstorming. I'm going to track the instructions here, actually. I want to know what I'm supposed to do. Hedge hopper is fly through 10 barns. Let's try that. Alright, easy. Easy as pie. Pop her in. I like how they all start with that same sound effect. I always associated with that with Pitfall, but I guess all of them did that. So the object is to fly through the barns, but then fly over the silos. And you got to do, and again, this is all about time. How fast can you... Ah! They're mixing it up on me. Oh, God. 6 more barns. How fast can you... oh, I just killed a bird. And the funny, I was watching Angry Hoosier play this. He would just fly. I don't think he realized he was supposed to go through the barns. I didn't tell him. I was busy at the time, but so he was just flying. I think he might have figured it out eventually. I mean, you'd have to. Apparently, this game goes on forever. But hey, you know, tell your friend, look, I got through Hedge Hopper. I went through 10 barns in 52 seconds. What do you think about that, huh? Yeah, take that home to mom. All right, we're done. I'm done boring you. Let's head back over to the radio. Let's see what we can hear. Sure. What else? I don't know what that one is. Oh, I kind of know what that one is. Oh, I love this one. It's 5-second radio address. All right. Thank you. That's it. We're done. Give me that harp. Play me that beautiful harp footage. All right, we're back. We're back, folks. Okay. So there you go. If you had any doubts as to the kind of fun you can get in that new Call of Duty game, if you had any doubts whether or not this is the year to try it or this is the year to continue it, I would say absolutely. I'm going to find a cheap copy for around $5, and you'll see me there. I don't know when that's going to be, but I'm patient enough to wait. So there you go. One day, Call of Duty World War II is going to end up in the hole. That's just how it is. So I want to thank Activision for throwing that in there. I think that's a great throwback. I think it's great that they put this whole headquarters thing in. There's a bunch of actual Army stuff to do in the headquarters with friends. I think there's like a one-on-one arena. Obviously, there's shops where you can work on your weapons and a whole host of other personalization stuff. I think that's really exciting. That it's more than just the game, the shooting. There's probably some hardcore fans out there shaking their head about it, but I'm in. All right, we got a few more minutes here, just enough time to check out the mailbag here. Let's see what we got. What do you out there have to say there? This comes from Super 666 player. He says, "Oh, okay, this is relevant somewhat." He says, "Hey Galleon," a lot of people call me Galleon. "Hey Galleon, do you like guns or knives better?" And then he says, "Sai is like a sword with a point end." I think I asked in a previous voyage what a Sai knife is. And apparently it's a sword with a point end. It doesn't every sword have a point end? I don't know. That doesn't help. Thanks for trying that. Guns or knives? Well, you know, there's a little known fact. There's no guns on the ship. We just do 2 guns here, mainly because I'm a terrible shot. And I would be totally afraid. I would not only shoot someone, but, you know, I'd hate to shoot, you know, I don't know, Mega Man X8 for the PlayStation 2. That would be a real loss. So I guess knives. I do actually have some background as a Boy Scout. So I do have a little bit of experience with whittling and things of that nature. I'm not talking combat knives. I'm talking like Swiss Army knives. And I don't know if you guys know about this, but there is something in Boy Scouts called the Totem Chip. It's basically a license, and you have to earn it by going through some knife safety courses. And if you manage to get through it, you get your Totem Chip. And a Totem Chip is a card that says you're a licensed Swiss Army holding Boy Scout. And if you're ever caught using your knife in some sort of way, maybe handing the knife to someone with the point out, or maybe throwing it into the dirt, misusing a knife or disrespecting it in some way, someone could come up to you, usually a scoutmaster or something, or a junior officer, and would say, hey, let me see that Totem Chip. And you'd have to hand it to them. And then they would take, with their knife, they'd chop off one of the corners of the Totem Chip. And if you manage to get all the corners chopped off for reasons of disrespecting, you know, knife play or knife craft, if you will, you wouldn't be a knife carrying scout anymore. You'd have to reapply the following year. Now, who's making, you know, like 4 knife violations a year with a Swiss Army knife? I don't know, but it was always a pretty it was a proud day when you got your Totem Chip. So old Reyes, I'll stick with knives. All right, guys, we're running a little over, but I think it was worth it. We got a lot of gaming in, had a lot of laughs, and hey, we even got to listen to some 80s tunes. Pick up that new Call of Duty, or heck, pick up an Atari. Either way, you're going to have a lot of fun. All right, I hope you the best. Why do I have this in my hand? We're done with that. What we're not done with is this. We'll see you next time. And until then, farewell and adieu to ye Spanish maidens. Farewell and adieu, ye ladies of Spain. For we received orders for to bum around and play Atari. And we may never see ye fair maidens again. Nothing like some gamer fuel after a little bit of Call of Duty, right? Keep your powder dry, mateys.